Okay, so this is the calculating pi or approximating pi lab, and this is a start, right? What are we doing here? We are making our screen, we're setting our world coordinates to be one, one on every side from the origin, and then making our turtle, upping him. Darts is going to be 10. We're going to iterate 10 times, and then in the iterations we're moving randomly on the x and randomly on the y, go toing with Fred there and stamping. Right. So what this is going to do is it's going to put like dots all over the screen. Well, it'll put dots if I make Fred a circle. So if I do Fred dot circle or shape is a circle, then it will do that. And so let's go ahead and try it out. I right click and I run it. And where is it? Oh, there's an error. So circle is not defined. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me go ahead and quote that. And then I'll right click it and run it. And it does this. Okay. So it's halfway there and it's ready to go. But it's an error because it's not giving you numbers between 1 and 0. It's giving numbers between -1 and 0. I'm sorry. It's giving either -1 or 0 or +1 and 0. Right? So that's what this rand range does. It gives you whole numbers in this range, and not just in this range, but only inclusive on the left end. So including -1 and 0, not including 1, which is why we get that formation that we get. So that's off. Right? What we should be getting here for our x is any number from -1 to +1. Right? That's including decimal numbers like 0.857, -0.23. So how do we do that? Well, what we can do is we can use random, right? So random.random, but this is off too. Let's go ahead and run that and see what happens. And it gives us this. All right, so it's behaving correctly, but it's confined to the top right coordinate. Why? Because random.random gives you a random number from 0 to 1 positive. So if our x and our y are 0 to 1 positive, that means we're going to stay in this quadrant. So how do we get it so that the dots are in all the quadrants? Well, this number here needs to be a range from -1 to +1. So how can we do that? Using just random.random. You can make like another function called gennum, and then up here we'll define gennum. So we'll say def gennum, and what gennum is going to do is going to return a random number from -1 to +1. So how does it work? We say if random dot rand range 0, 2 is equal to 0, then do this. This is going to happen half of the time, because random.rand range is going to give you a random number from 0, either 0 or 1, not including 2. So 0 or 1, that's two numbers that are possibly chosen from this method, and it's equal to 0 half the time. It's equal to 0 half the time. So here what I'm going to do, I'm going to return random.random. And then on my else, which is going to happen the other half of the time, I'm going to return negative random.random. So what is this function going to do effectively? It's going to return a random number from -1 to +1. Half the time, statistically, it's going to be a positive number, a decimal number. Statistically, half the time, it's going to be a positive decimal number. So that's what we're doing here. And I go ahead and copy that, paste it here too, save it, right-click and run, and this is what we get. Right? So all the quadrants now are in the mix. So that's how you do it. Right? And another thing that I want to note is everything should incorporate the main function moving forward, right? Especially this lab. So how does main work? We run main down at the bottom. It's our only line of code. And we define a main function. We keep everything inside, which means that all of these variables are now local. So if you need to pass information to a function call in main, you have to pass the variable as well, right, and receive it as a parameter here. If you're unclear on that, come and talk to me, and I will enlighten.